We just spent the most incredible 3 days in Seoul and we jam-packed so many amazing experiences. So in this video, we are going to take you through exactly what we did, every single activity, where to stay, what to do, and what to eat so that you can have the most amazing experience in Seoul too. We are Tyson Abby, we are the Fit Nomads. We're currently traveling the world and working remotely. We're taking you along the journey with us, so make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video. We've arrived in Seoul.
We have.
We have, after a bit of a debacle, but we made it. And we have about 8 hours until we can check into our accommodation. So we're jumping on the train, which is apparently really easy here, the train system. And we're going to head to Samsung Station with a big luggage. What's it called?
Locker.
I can't speak. It's been three hours. Samsung Station with a big luggage locker to store our bags so we can go exploring.
We booked our accommodation in Gangnam, which if you don't know or haven't really clicked onto it yet, it is the home of the Gangnam style. That Psy guy, I think we'll put something up here. So we're staying there. We arrived at Incheon Airport and then we caught a train from Incheon to Gangnam. Now, when you buy the train, you need cash to buy it. We made the mistake, didn't have cash yet, or you need to organize a T-Money card. A T-Money card will get you around the whole city. You can use this on buses, trains, even in taxis, at 7-Elevens, all that sort of stuff. So we'd totally recommend getting one of those, charging it up, and it's going to help you get around the city.
So we just tried to use these, but they only take cash, which we don't have yet. So we are on the way to the counter to see if we can pay with card. All right, cash only for the trains, guys. Cash only for the trains. So the train took around an hour and a half with 3 different stops to get from Incheon Station to Gangnam. And we ended up in Samsung Station. We had about 5 hours until we could check in because we arrived really early. So we actually found these lockers that you could rent for a day. It was $6 a locker and we stored all of our luggage here. First time using lockers. Took us about 20 minutes, but we got there. We had to hire 2 big ones and we're doing this for about 5 hours before our Airbnb checks in. Yeah. Super easy. You do need to download an app. It didn't work on my phone. It only worked on Tyson's, and you do need a credit card for this one as well.
The app is called the T-Locker app. You can find these lockers at all the stations. One thing that we would recommend though is to avoid storing your luggage at Seoul Station because it is extremely busy and it's unlikely you'll get one.
There are other locker storage locations around the city though, so just Google that. We did find a really cool one when we were about to head off back home, and we could store our luggage quite easily there for the day as well.
Another hot tip is when you're getting around Seoul, Google Maps does not work very well at all. So you need to download this app called Neighbor Maps, and that's going to help you get around and show you all the easiest ways and easiest paths.
So before we got into our shopping and exploring the day, we had to have a quick snack. We absolutely love exploring the 7-Elevens and convenience stores here.
So we got this big sushi and it is an absolute whopper. It's kind of like a king-sized sausage roll when you get them in Melbourne, king-size sausage roll. Felt much better. Look at that. Absolute whopper. And then what they do is they've actually cut it for you. So they're in slices and you just pull them up.
So if you're looking for something cheap to eat, it is definitely worthwhile stopping into these stores and just having a little bit of a look. The stuff inside is actually so cool anyway. And we do have a great experience that we're sharing at the very end as well. On our last day, we had the most amazing food from a 7-Eleven store. So make sure you tune into the end and watch that as well. Yeah. First stop was the Starfield Library in the COEX Mall. And this is definitely one that you need to add to your list. Check out the videos here. It is aesthetically so beautiful with all of the books on the shelves. You can walk around, have a bit of a browse and grab a coffee from Starbucks, which is really lovely too.
Look at this place. It is actually incredible. So beautiful. I just wanted to talk about our first impressions of Seoul. What a beautiful city it is.
Great.
The weather is fantastic. We probably don't need to wear a jumper, although I've been wearing the same t-shirt for 2 days after flying. So, got to hide that. But in the end, Seoul is quite similar to Japan, I'd say, in the first impressions. But I'm sure it'll open up to us a little bit later on as we explore more of the city and everything. But honestly, very excited.
So in terms of when is the best time to come to South Korea, We are in November at the moment, November 10th today, and it's beautiful. It's like fresh, crispy 17, 18 degrees of top, and then it gets cold at night. Lovely to walk around, but yeah, I think we're heading into winter. So I can imagine this city would be beautiful in summer and winter. It just depends what your vibe is. But I think it gets really hot in summer and quite cold like Japan in winter. So I think you can go all time of year. It's just what I don't think there's like a rainy season or anything. It just depends whatever your vibe is.
Yeah.
Look at this. So after a few hours of gallivanting around the city, we were pretty tired and hungry, and we found an amazing restaurant on TikTok called Hanmyeok. This was one of the best experiences that we did on this trip. We basically we got all of this for free minus the beers. The beers were $7 each and they're giant, but all of this that we've got in front of us right now, we haven't even ordered our food yet. This is just given as like little starters, kimchi, pickled vegetables, dips and soup. This place is phenomenal.
So they're cooking up the food on here and it's absolutely looking hectic. It's looking so good. They got beef, scallops, everything, and they cook it all in this hot pot right in front of you. And then apparently at the end, they're gonna add some egg and fry it up, and that's the cherry on top, I think. That's what they do. Also, by the way, Korean beers, delicious.
Good. Is this the egg?
Yeah.
The food, the Korean barbecue was amazing. They bring everything out for you and they actually cook it for you. They bring all these starters. We had incredible food, incredible beer, and it was probably the best meal that we had in Seoul.
Yeah, definitely up there. I mean, we had some bloody awesome meals and there's more to come, but that one was, a really incredible special experience, and that Korean barbecue style, I mean, that's what they're famous for.
The only recommendation there is to pre-book or go for like a light lunch. We ran around 2 p.m. and we kind of just got in. It wasn't too busy, but they did ask us when we arrived, do you have a reservation? So if you're wanting to do this one, make a reservation or go late lunch. One of the best things about Seoul as well, and you will come to learn this when you visit, is the cafe scene is absolutely buzzing. I've never seen so many cafes in one area that are so trendy and cool and hip and out there in all my life. Yeah. One was Nadake. This place was incredible. We walked in and it was like an art installation versus coffee cafe. Yeah. There was amazing desserts and coffee, and it was...
The dessert was art, right?
The dessert was art.
It was on display. We had to use the Google Translator to take photos and translate what they were, because they just looked like art. They didn't look like cakes. But we chose some stuff, and it was, really, really delicious. Yeah. Oh my God, look at the cup. It's turned black.
Do I stop?
Okay, stop.
The big oh, there
Is it really that good?
Oh my God. It's like sesame.
Really?
Amazing.
Crazy, isn't it? That they're that good at making shit.
It's wild. Tastes like sesame.
Oh my God.
Wow. All right, Naduke.
Let's just say this is not within my calorie limit.
No way.
Basically, put cafes on steroids, I guess.
They really make it an experience, make it feel really special and just different. So one fun thing that we did today, we headed out to Gangnam, which is where we're staying. We went shopping at all the local shops, and there's this Nike store, and you can make your own hat. So you go in and you pick your hat if you want like a black one or a white one, and then you pick all your little things and make them. And I picked AJ with these, and then Ty spent about 20 minutes trying to pick his, and then he got so overwhelmed with what to pick that he ended up buying nothing.
Then we hopped in a taxi from Gangnam to N Tower, because one of the cool things about Seoul is this tower in the middle that you basically get 360 views of the whole city. We are up the N Tower, and if you are in Seoul, you have to go check out the N Tower. It's the biggest tower in the whole of the city, and you can get up to the top for just $20. Once you're up here, you have the opportunity to buy some beers and then look at the incredible views. We bought a ticket on arrival. You can pre-book these tickets. People will try and sell you tickets for much more money saying you can skip the line, but we found that it was absolutely fine. And maybe this changes different times of the year, but we paid the normal price and we got up there in like 5-10 minutes.
At the observation deck hallway. Feels like we're in some sort of like ride or something, but it's really cool. And definitely didn't need to pay the extra, so just go the standard. Oh, look at this. Wow. So cool. On that note as well, we went at 5 p.m. The bus ride up was free, so basically we got a taxi there, and then the bus ride up, you can't really get a taxi past a certain point, so you have to get a free bus. On the way down, it was so busy that we ended up walking down, and it took us about 45 minutes. We just chucked on a podcast and didn't want to try and fight the queues because it was so hectic. So it's a little recommendation with timing wise. Also, another note on that, taxis and Ubers are great in Seoul. Super easy, really cheap. We kind of just jumped in and out every now and then, and it was between around like $5 to $15 wherever we were going.
The other thing that I think we should need to touch on is the internet situation. Like when you arrive here, getting SIM cards and everything is super easy and super cheap, but also there's Wi-Fi absolutely everywhere. So if you do need to book an Uber or a taxi, you just hop into a restaurant or a cafe and you get free Wi-Fi. Even out in the open, you get free Wi-Fi and you can book something, so not too necessary to get yourself a SIM card. As we are working digital nomads, we had to go to EDIA this morning to have a coffee and some work time, so we sat down and chilled out here. If you're going to go and work, this is a great place and we would definitely recommend it. Heaps of space, big open area, super aesthetic for videos as well if you wanted to film videos there. EDIA Coffee Lab in Seoul, and this is a really cool place to come. If you're traveling and working, I would come and work here for sure if we were here for longer.
It's huge.
And they do all their roasting coffee inside. It's super aesthetic. We got a couple of coffees, just the normal regular latte, and then we got a signature coffee, which we'll put up a video. This coffee has gold in it and it's got some other stuff. It's called the signature coffee. I'm going to give it a try now live in action. Oh, it's beautiful.
Is it good?
I don't know what it is.
Better with the gold.
I feel richer. I feel like it was all worth it.
They gave us free pastries. I think they're free. I don't know.
Well, we didn't pay for
We didn't pay for them, so they're either not ours or they're free. But we had a really nice morning. We slept in this morning and then just walked to this cafe. But on the way, we stopped and found this random 24-hour vintage clothes shop, and it was so cool. So basically there's no staff there, which is just mind-blowing because I don't know how people don't steal stuff all the time. But we were trying to get in and you just have to put in your credit card, and ours didn't work. So this lovely man came up to us and was like, here, use my credit card. So then he got us into the shop, and then I bought this jacket that I'm wearing. Tice bought this hat, and I bought another jacket as well. But it's so cool, so many cool things and pretty reasonable. Like I spent $60 for 3 things. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, in Melbourne that you go to the vintage shops, especially in Brunswick, and all the good stuff's taken. Here it's not. Here you've got so much stuff to pick from. Yeah. Man, Seoul just keeps getting better and better, honestly. But yeah, there's some interesting things about Korea that I wanted to talk about culturally. So, you know, when you go to a restaurant or go around, you're actually not supposed to tip people. They don't take tips here. That's all included in the cost of the item or whatever, or cost of the service. And actually it can be rude if you do tip people here. The other thing is, if you sit in restaurants or cafes, people are not going to come to you and take your order. You actually have to wave them down to take your order or wave them down to get the bill. Otherwise, they're just going to leave you alone, which is kind of cool. And there's some other things. If you're eating a rice dish, which is pretty interesting, you can mix it with chopsticks, but you actually eat it with a spoon. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know when spoons came about in Korea, but it seems like something that's ingrained in their culture now. After coffee and a bit of work, we went over to Insadong, and that is in Hanok Village. And Hanok is actually the word for that type of house, like this olden style of house. So all of the villages, these little old style houses, and we did some cafe hopping around here, which was really cool. There are so many cafes You know, every second place is a cafe or a bakery, artisan bakery, all of that sort of stuff. So we went to a few of those. We just walked around. First one we went to was the cheese industry, and that one did these really cool little pastries with cheese in them. They also did cheesecakes that looked really cool, like a wheel of cheese. So that was absolutely delicious. The next one we went to Mill Toast. And Mill Toast is this steamed bread, this special steamed bread. You do have to line up to go to this one, but it was extremely delicious. We would recommend going there, and it's really cool because they make it right in front of you and you can see the whole process. And
then next up we went to Nak One, which was a really cute little cafe. We just had coffee here and enjoyed it for about 45 minutes and charged our phones. But yeah, the scenery here and just the whole aesthetic vibe of this cafe was super cute. Now this is when we really started to have a lot of fun. So what they do here in this little village, this little town, is you can actually hire costumes, like the olden day outfits that they used to wear, called the Hanok outfits, or the Hanok traditional suits.
Yeah.
And you basically hire them for a couple of hours and you can walk around the town and you can walk around the palace. And it sounds strange, but everyone does it, so it kind of feels we had a lot of friends whilst we were doing this, but it was so fun. They kind of dress you up. There are heaps of different shops that you can do it from. We just found one along the street that was close by to the palace, and it took us about half an hour to get dressed up, and then we were on our way. So you walk around the streets, you can go have food, you can go explore. So once we had our outfits on, we headed over to Gyeongbokgung Palace, and you get free entry when you're wearing these outfits. So bonus tip, do it because it's fun. Then also you save a bit of money on the entry into the palace.
made it to the palace. Look at that. Beautiful. How epic is that? It's huge. And there's so many people dressed up just like us.
We have friends.
We have friends. We were walking down the street
Worried
before and we couldn't see anyone. We thought it was a cruel joke. But no, I think we're looking good, honestly.
Yeah,
I think we're fashionable.
I want to wear this more often.
Yeah.
I want to wear this more often.
Yeah, you should wear it more
should.
often. Look. Beautiful. Anyway, I think we're styling and it's nice to see everyone out and about. If you're doing it, if you're down here, get amongst
it's definitely
it.
something to add to your South Korea list. Hiring both of our suits were about $30, and then once you get into the palace, you get free entry when you're wearing them. So you can save a bit of money on entry and just have a bit of fun while you're doing it.
We walked through the towns and stuff with our outfits on for a little bit. Had a beer. Pour your own beer at this place. I'll put it up here. And yeah, just hung out. It was really nice. Beautiful afternoon. The sun was out. It was a Sunday, so it was very vibing. Things were happening. Then we had to return our clothes. We only hired them for 2 hours, and we went to this cool place. It's called Nuldum, and basically it's a cafe where you can write a letter to your future self. And I thought this was really nice. Something that Abby and I do a fair bit is like think about the future, and Abby does a lot of scripting, and we do like gratitude and those sorts of things. And this was a really nice experience. So we sat there and we wrote our letters, and there's a rooftop there, and then you fold up your letters, put them in, and put a stamp with wax. So it was kind of a little bit spiritual, a little bit nice.
And then they send it to you.
And then they send it to you in a year on a select date that you want.
So we had a bit of time to kill before our epic food tour that we are about to get into. And so we decided to walk from there to Hanok Village, and we stumbled across a really cool bar, a vinyl record bar, and had a quick drink, and it was just a really cool vibe.
Yeah, and then that brought us to 7 p.m. when this food tour started. And the food tour was at the famous Gwangjang market. We met there. There was a group of about 5 of us, and basically went around this market. This market is huge. It's got about 5,000 stalls or more, and during the day it's much busier. At night it's more just the food that's open. So we ate lots of different stuff at this place. The first place we stopped at was this dumpling bar, and this one was extremely famous because it was on that Street Eats Netflix TV series. So that's really popular. There's also multiple stores like this along there that you could try that do a similar sort of noodles and all those sorts of things. So you just go to whichever one, depending on if this one's too busy or not. But yeah, we tried a few things. So we tried the noodles. Their knife cut noodles were fantastic. We also had some Korean fried chicken that the tour guide brought us as well. We had Mayak kimbap, which is drug kimbap. So it's kind of like the Korean style of sushi, and they call it the drug sushi because basically, it's like a drug, you want more. Then we had these spicy rice cakes, and these are renowned throughout Korea. These simple rice cake kind of noodle thingies covered in spicy sauce. It was really tasty. We had different dumplings. We had more knife cut noodles. We had these mung bean pancakes and stuff. And actually, we had those mung bean pancakes and everything when we went to this restaurant. And we were, after we did a bit of tour around and tried all this food in the market, then we went to this restaurant and tried the rest of the food, which was these mung bean pancakes, meatball pancakes. We had wine, beef tartare. We had these crazy like live octopus that were wriggling around everywhere, and it was pretty funny. And then we had beer and soju.
And then we finished off with a really popular dessert, the twisted donut, which was kind of like it was a great, delicious, soft donut.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a full video.
Yeah, we will do a full video, I think, on the food that we had in Seoul. So keep an eye out for that one as well.
And then what we did was walk along the canal to get almost home. Not really, just to walk and experience it, but it's something that you need to do. There's this big 10-kilometer canal that runs west to east through the middle of Seoul. It's super beautiful. It's lit up at night, but also it's really beautiful to walk during the day and a nice way to get around the city. So definitely check that out. And then the final thing that we got to do on our last day before we headed off was this really cute local experience.
So on our final day, we did have to do a bit of work in the morning. We just sort of cafe hopped and hung out a bit, and then we saw this thing on TikTok that looked really amazing. Headed off to Han River. We just caught a quick Uber there and headed to a local convenience store that was like right on the river, and basically you choose your ramen and choose your toppings. So you can add eggs, you can add whatever you like to your ramen, and you cook it at the store. And it sounds silly, but it was so fun and so yummy. So we chose our ramen, added some eggs, and we cracked in our eggs at the last minute, a little hot tip, and it took only about 3 minutes to cook. And then we enjoyed it by the river for about 10 minutes, and the weather was beautiful, and it was just a really wholesome, lovely, unique experience that was cheap and so yummy.
It's one of those experiences that I think happens a lot in the K-dramas, so it's something that people really want to do, and you can actually go and do this along the river at many different points. There's lots of parks along the river, so just find the ones that are popular on Google and head there, and they've all got the convenience stores there, and it's pretty easy to work out what to do, so it'll be fun.
So that wraps up our amazing 3-day itinerary in Seoul. We hope you enjoyed it. We will pop all the information down in the caption below. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them, and we're so happy to answer them for you. Give this video a like, share it to someone who you want to explore Seoul with, and of course, subscribe to our channel because we have so many good videos like this coming your way, including the complete food guide to Seoul.